I usually review GitHub repos, but I thought it's time to review a GitLab repo. Thank you so much to Michael for submitting the Wireshark GitLab repo for review. Just to give you a bit of background about what the Wireshark project is, if you don't know what it is, from their website, they do say that Wireshark is a network traffic analyzer or sniffer for Linux, Mac, and other Unix-like operating systems, and for Windows. It uses Qt, a graphical user interface library, and libpcap and npcap as a packet capture and filtering library. So what are my first impressions looking at this repo? Yes, it is similar-ish to GitHub, but I have noticed some differences, which I quite like. So my eyes are first drawn to 4 pieces of information. One is the stars. It's a metric. It's not an important metric, but for some reason, our eyes are drawn to this metric, and it's what we look for. I don't know why. Please tell me in the description below why that is. I'm not sure. The next thing my eyes are drawn to is that it almost has 100,000 Git commits, which seems like a very active and long-standing project. I mean, that is really, really impressive. Do you know any other projects that have a similar amount? I don't think I've seen that before, so that is very impressive. I've noticed they're using the master branch, not main, but probably because the project's been around for a long while, they haven't changed the default, and that is understandable. The next thing that I am drawn to, I'm not sure about you, but this, I really see it. Can you guess what it is? The badges on the right-hand side. I'm so used to seeing the badges in the README, but to get to the README, I have to scroll through all the files. So I really, really like seeing them hoisted up and on the right-hand side, and they're just there. I can see the badges, the donate, the development, the stable. I just think that is so cool. So my next step from this is to scroll down to the README. I don't know what you would do, but you can see there's a few pages down on this repository. But I would like to see a screenshot. I know I can click on the website and probably see a screenshot there, but I would like to see a screenshot in the README. This is kind of like the hook. Do I want to invest more time looking further into this project or any other project? And I appreciate people don't add screenshots maybe at the beginning of their project or in the middle because they are worried it's going to get out of date. Well, a screenshot that's out of date is probably better than no screenshot in my opinion. But a project that's so mature, they're probably not changing the design so much that actually it probably wouldn't get out of date. It's on such a mature project. I just think the pros will really outweigh the cons here on any project having a screenshot. And when the screenshot does get out of date, it's actually a really good way to onboard new people onto the project to contribute and run the project, take a screenshot and improve the README. What I have noticed down the right-hand side is there aren't any unused features on GitLab on this repo being shown. I don't know if this is something GitLab hides automatically or if you toggle things on and off. When you're not using them, toggle them off, and when you are eventually going to use them, toggle them on. So this is really good. I really like how clean this kind of landing page of the repo looks. Every feature that is shown to me on GitLab is being used, which I think is great. Let's dig into the issues. There are many issues, some recent ones. You can see the top one was updated 8 hours ago, so it is very active, but I don't see many labels. I know this takes a lot of time for maintainers, but I would highly recommend trying to add labels to the issues. That's a note for myself as well. I'm a bit bad at that too, but I'm sure with this project, it's probably got a team of people to help with that. The advantages of assigning labels to the issues is if someone wants to filter by the UI like Qt, maybe they want to contribute or find an existing bug that maybe they found or something like that, they can click on it and filter by it. Same with docs. All these labels are actually clickable, so people can filter. As you can see in the search box now, it has filtered by the UI Qt label that I clicked on, and then people can filter even further, for example, dark mode or Mac OS. Let's go to the issue boards next. The issues on the issues board seem to have labels, so I'm not sure if they only get labels once they're added to the project board. This might be their project strategy. However, I didn't see anything in the contributing guide about this. Maybe it's an unspoken rule that the maintainers do. I always like to click on the Wiki next on any repo. The reason for that is I want to see if they're using it or if their docs are somewhere else. But what we can see, I mean, there's almost 1,000 pages in their wiki. So they are extensively using the wiki, which is great. And their docs seem to be, well organized and fully featured. Just scanning through their wiki homepage, I really like the presentation section that stood out for me. I think other projects need to adopt this idea where people can, more easily find the presentations that were given on the projects. Maybe they want to give a presentation, they want to do something different, they want to do something similar with a different spin. So it's a great way to collect these. And plus, the speakers get kind of visibility to their content from the repository. I definitely see this as a two-way street, and it will encourage more people to give talks on the project. So I love this page. More projects should use this. I'm definitely going to use this in my projects. I did notice some empty sections on the left-hand side. So you have got iterations, it's not being used, and also requirements. I wonder if they could be hidden on the left-hand side as well, so they're not distracting to the user going through the repo. I mean, what do you think? Do you find it distraction, or would you kind of click it and then just move on? Because here we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kind of sublinks under plan. And I think if half of them say aren't being used, then it would be great just to see only the half that are being used. Let's move on to the code section next, specifically the merge requests. I mean, this looks really, really active. I mean, the top one was last updated 13 minutes ago. So there are multiple pull requests. They've got multiple comments. There's a lot of collaboration going on in this community. I always recommend people, when they want to contribute to a project or get involved in the project, do check out the merge request or pull request section. It's a great way to see the latest conversations and how people are collaborating, and see if it's a project that you want to get involved in. The next part is one of my favorites, which is the build section. I love this section. I feel it's the heart of any project, where all the automation magic happens. Tasks like linters, automated testing, releases, and then finally deployment to the users. Seeing all these various repository events trigger the jobs and pipelines for the project, and the badges changing state from running, skipped, maybe error, passed, and so forth. I just think it is awesome. Behind me, you can see a variety of the badges already, and there are more. There's probably errors and some other ones that we can't see on this page at the moment. I do really like watching these different states, especially when I trigger the event on the project. Is it going to go red? Hopefully not. That's what I was looking out for. So I do enjoy it. Do you watch yours as well? What I've noticed is that releases aren't being used, but tags are. So, don't shout at me saying they're the same. I know they're very, very similar. If we go back to the landing page, we can see there are over 1,000 tags. So they are being used. And tags and releases are very, very similar. You can see a tag is like a stake in the ground. We're happy with this. It's stable and so forth. What I really like about releases is they have additional information about the release or a tag. And like I said, they are very similar. Usually the release kind of wraps a tag. So if you create a tag, you end up with a tag. If you create a release, you end up with a release with some information about the release, but also you end up with a matching tag. So I feel a release is has additional information on that. I just feel the developer experience, the DX, is so much better with releases, in my personal opinion, but they might have a project strategy on why they want to use tags. Maybe there's some automation going on around there somewhere else, and they push the tags to here. Looking through the additional sections, I see environments is empty. Maybe this doesn't have a deployed version. Maybe it has a website that they could put here, or maybe that's a different repository. Again, can we hide this if it's not being used, is all I'm going to suggest here. If we go to the monitor section and we go to incidents and service desks, they're not being used, but I'm still really excited about this. And let me tell you why in a moment. But let me get out what I'm going to say first, which is, if it's not being used, can it be hidden? But what I'm excited about is, oh my word, these sections look super interesting. It's the first time I'm seeing it as well. I love this idea. The service desk connects the users with the maintainers. And the main reason why I think it's so amazing is the users are potential customers, but they may not have GitLab accounts. So how are they able to get involved in issues and so forth? They can't. But GitLab allows you to either put in your email, or they give you an email, and it allows the users or customers to send information like bug reports, requests, etc. by email, and it appears here in the service desk. And so therefore the maintainers can still see it. I just think this is brilliant. It's super transparent for maybe the other contributors on the project. And also it's just all in one place. I think it's great. I just really think it's just so awesome that it's connecting the users with the maintainers on the project. And you don't have to even kind of be on the same platform, but they come together in the same platform, which I just think is a game changer. How come this is the first time I'm hearing of this? Why didn't you tell me about this before? I think this is something I definitely need to look into further. I think I'm going to use it for my next SaaS product. Let me know what you think of this idea, and don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you want to support me and learn more about open source.